So we have an outside test, which we haven't done yet. Keep in mind, even though we've been outside playing around, we've done the certified screens playing around, we have to officially have the word test next to the demonstration to show that that is a test demonstration. So that way we don't get it mixed up with the other demonstrations that we do. All right, so in this test, basically we to see how our product compares to a certified projection screen. This is a more expensive model screen. They can range anywhere from $800 all the way up to $5,000 just for a 100-inch. What we have here probably ranges from about $1,000 and up. Highest screen up here is about $5,000. Now we do these demonstrations. All this technology up here is to be ambient light projection technology. Our screens are ambient light projection technology, so it's only fitting that we sit in a room that's extremely bright to see if our screen can maintain at the maximum amount of light. It's going to be to maintain its contrast, color. We have to do white level tests, and we do a contrast test to see if the screens are, which one of the screens are pulling the highest contrast level in the demonstration. I try to make sure that surfaces that reflective surface, which are played by narrow viewing cone effect, are sitting right up front, because they're the ones that will have the struggle because of the narrow viewing cone effect, which makes the screen go dark if you view it on an angle. And that gives the screen an unfair advantage. Not unfair advantage, it does give unfair. Because an unfair start from the door due to the fact that in white levels, if I turn left to right, that screen can come really dark because it's not in the center of the of where the projector is sitting. So that's why we take those particular screens that have that narrow viewing cone effect. They're sitting right directly in front of the projector, and the ones who have it the less are sitting on the far end. That makes it even Steven with the screens. All right, so let's get ready to get set up so we can get this test done, because I have an outside test to do at 1,000 lumens, and I have should be a little more even, and I have a gaming demonstration, gaming test that has to be done. It's a gaming test. It's an outside test on 1,000 lumens, ultra short throw, because all the ones we did were just basically for filling out the screen. We need the actual test. Once these two tests are completed, this screen will be done all tests. And this is the Fusion. The Fusion is the gaming version of the Black Series. Now, to explain about the Black Series technology, the Black Series is the category or classification of the technology, which means it's like the product collection line. The 48 stands for the number of the screen. So we have different models in 48s, we have 12s. These are models of the screens. The gain of the screen is by whatever chemical we design or the formula we design that goes into it. It can be a fusion. Some are black infinities. These are different names that we give them for whatever gain we're dropping in. We don't go by 1.1 and 0.1 or any of that stuff. We have a new way and a different way of, well, actually not a new way, but we have a different way of doing it. I don't like the 2.0 and all that. For me, I feel it's not accurate enough. So we have a formula that we make that we drop into it and allows the screen to be able to produce this crazy white level, and we call it the heightener. So heightener is basically, some of the screens can react differently to the heightener. They can pick up a white level literally so high that we have to bring something to adjust it to bring it down. The difference between the Black Series, the Black Series never required any form, well, this one didn't require any form of adjuster to begin with, because it was able to maintain those insane white levels. All right, so let's get this started. For some reason, I thought I had to go upstairs to get something, but I can't remember what I have to go get. We have 9 certified screens laying against our screen. Of course, as you can see, we're in a fully lit environment, not in the dark. I don't understand about doing demonstrations constantly in the dark. We're going to do lights on and lights off to show you the difference, which is very important, but still, I don't understand how people do the entire demonstration in the dark. And at that, if they do have lights on in the environment, it's very poor lighting. So if I were to take that screen, the Black Series, the Fusion Black Series Gamer, and stick that in a highly lit environment, it would be able to maintain because it's used to being tested in such an extreme well-lit environment. All right, so let's begin, and let's start off with, we'll get in the menu up here first. All right, now to make sure we got plenty of power, our projector we're using in the demonstration is a Christie LW505 projector. It is 1920 by 1200. It's around 5,000 lumens, and it's a WXGA projector. Plenty of kick, plenty of power. This projector was discontinued, I think, in 2012. I'm going to go back and check that too, because somewhere 2012, somewhere 2011. But it's an older projector. And the reason why I use these older projectors is because if our technology can maintain on such an older projector, it makes it much more affordable for the customer. The customer can relate to it better if a customer costs $500 than $5,000. All right, let's go to white screen saver. Now I do this because I need to see where the white levels lay at between our product and theirs. As I said before, a screen that's producing too high of a white level is going to have some issues when it comes to contrast and color. All right, so we'll do our white levels. Okay. And this allows me to see what screens are producing too high of a white level. You want to have, some people believe that you have to have a bone high white level in order to get better color and contrast, and that's not what you want to do because white screens do that automatically. All right, come out here and let's pull up red screen. So we're going to be changing out the colors just to make sure that our technology is pulling its correct color compared to the certifieds. Now, again, because these screens are very expensive, this saves my customers a ton of money because, again, instead of them spending $3,000, $5,000, $1,500, even $800 for a screen, our technology is much more affordable. And the 32-ounce containers that will now be housing the Black Series technology paints a screen over 150 inches because now we got more coverage, a lot more coverage. All right, blue screen. We'll switch over to blue. All right. Green screen. The basic colors first. All right. Purple screen. Okay. Slow color change out. And this will allow me to randomly change out colors. Now we call this the transition stage where the screen has the ability to change out to multiple colors. Also transfer from a snow level to a black level to a black level to a snow level. So I'm going to be posting below our user Facebook page. We have a page for this technology right here where we're displaying all our test demonstrations. So you can see all test demonstrations that we posted to the site. Okay, now from there, let's go grab, let me see, so change me. Let's go with, let me see. Color pattern test. Now I ran this one upstairs. I'll run it again down here. A lot more light to the screen. They're showing black levels, dark shades of gray. Now we'll be doing this demonstration, lights on and lights off. Now to warn you, the certified screens tests are not like the everyday tests that we're running the mill where we basically showing up the screen. These take a lot longer because we have to do all this with the lights on, then we have to run it back all over again with the lights off. We want to make sure we're thorough as thorough can be when it comes to testing. That's why I wasn't really happy about the test that I saw yesterday. Sorry if I get a little aggressive, but I'm very passionate about what I do. I expect better. And if I'm spending $3,000 or $5,000 for a screen, I'm expecting to see better tests. So this is what I should have saw yesterday. I should have saw a color comparison of, which one of these screens are going to produce better color, which one's going to produce better contrast, which one's going to produce higher white levels. And I need to see this in a maxed out zone, as much light as possible. Because we all know it washes the screen out, light washes the screen out. Light washes out contrast. Light does not wash out white levels. Some people don't do real tests at the end of the day when it's involving certifieds because, again, they may be sponsored by some of those screens. And, again, they want to make them look good so they can keep their sponsorship. We don't do that over here. That's why if I go on a channel and I see how test demonstrations are being done and they're not being done correctly, we don't want you touching the product. We don't want to be affiliated with you, period. Certified or mixes or whatever you are. If we go in there and see that your tests are not up to par, like we're doing over here, then you have no business touching our technology. We don't sit in your category. And from what I've seen already, from that demonstration on those certified screens, that was a very poor demonstration. There's no way in the world I would ever send you a sample sheet. No way in the world. I don't want my technology associated with anyone that does tests that way. I'm expected to see proper tests. When tests are done that way, they're made to make the product somewhat good. And no. I wasn't happy to begin with because, as I said on camera, the environments are too dark. And sure enough, environments are dark. You got screens completely washing out on camera, and they're sitting there saying that, oh, the picture quality is good. No, that was a horrible image. Now, the fellow was doing the elite screen, the white screen, and you saw him change the settings in his phone to make it look like the environment was darker, so the image would pull a little better. That's what it looks like when someone changes the settings on a camera. You will literally see the environment adjust. That's why when people make statements like that, they have no idea what they're talking about. But then again, as I said before, what I've seen on Sunday clearly states they don't know what they're talking about at all, period. This is why people can come back, look at the tests that we're doing here, and take our tests and compare them to everybody else's. And no one will match because no one's doing it right. Now, I don't know who may be sponsoring him at the end of the day, but that test was not good. I don't want to sit there and watch hours of a car racing, going back and forth on a highway. I want to see actual tests. What are the comparisons of red? What are the comparisons of blue? What's the comparisons of yellow? Who pulls the better contrast levels? Who has the best ambient light rejection technology? Who has the highest white levels? How does it look if you drop it on 1,000 lumen projector? Does the image deteriorate? Does it get better? Does it get worse? How do they react outside? What time of the day do they react outside? What's the distance throw on it? How far do I have to be back before the screen starts to deteriorate? This is all the information that I need to get, but I'm not getting it when I watch these demonstrations. So if they're not doing it, we do it. A lot of people like to ask, how do gaming applications look at the end of the day? They don't even do any gaming applications. So how do you know how your game is going to react to it? Let me explain something to you. When I explain to people this all the time, you can have a PS5, you can have an Xbox One, you can have an Atari, you can have any game system. Doesn't make a difference what game system you have. It comes down to that screen and that projector at the end of the day on how the quality is going to perform on your gaming system. I can take an old gaming system like the Dreamcast, make it look absolutely amazing, put it on a white screen, it'll wash out, it'll fade, colors don't pick up, contrast doesn't pick up. That's what's going to happen. Comes down to the screen. People think it comes down to the performance of the machine. If you're talking about graphic-wise, yeah. If you're talking about performance-wise in certain ways, yeah. But picture quality, when you think about it in the day, blue is blue, green is green, red is red, orange is orange, no matter what system you have. It depends on what screen is going to allow it to be for you to be able to see it better. So when people say, oh, you can't, your picture quality, you don't have a certain system. Do you understand what you say when you say things? You truly think about what you say before you say them? All those gaming systems can all produce the same color, red, blue, orange, yellow. Now, how they come out and how they're seen depends on the projector. Well, not really the projector. It depends on mainly your screen. Because you can have a very high-powered, expensive projector, and if you had a white screen with it, you're not picking up jack at the end of the day. Let's go over to 4K snow screensavers. Now, I'm not going to judge all certifieds on what I saw. I need to go through all of them. I need to see what DMP Supernova looks like on a test. I need to go through all of them one by one by one. Well, so far, if that's how they're doing it, this is going to be a cakewalk for our technology. They're missing some major demonstrations. I'm pretty sure they've done their test on white screens. I know that for a fact. They've done their test on white screens. They have to. Because majority of the establishments that they're going to walk into when they're presenting these screens are going to be a white screen. But it's not really a big thing at the end of the day. When you take on a white screen, it's not a big thing. Anything could be a white screen. You can take Network grade 773 will be the white screen. Bare silver screen will be the white screen. Any screen that has a slightly higher tone or darker tone, it's going to be the white screen. But the white screen is going to be the assessor when it comes to the white level because it is a white screen. Your main issues are going to be, well, for black screens, issues are white levels and color. For gray screens, issues will be coming up, will be black levels and will be black levels in color. That's what they have to deal with. So that's why we're doing things first, doing the first. First to test our test demonstrations live, first to post our demonstrations live. We back our products in any way whatsoever. Take our videos, I tell people, what we have here, and base them off other demonstrations that you're seeing. There is no way in the world that an $800 projection screen, especially an elite screen, should ever look that way. Never. Ever. And I'm hoping, I'm going to look that screen up, that it doesn't say ambient light projection technology attached to it. The sad thing about it is, that is considered to be the normal in home theater. That's the sad. I see it all day long. I go to forum sites, I see the same washed out, poorly screens, poorly lit environments, overpriced projectors. It's the same protocol everywhere. It's like a plague. That's what it looks like. It's not done right. And this is the reason why Mr. Bird, football season, can walk through his entire house with all the screens fired up. I can start from upstairs, walk all the way downstairs. You see the screen at 127 inch sitting in the windows. Walk over, look at the ceiling. You can see it project off the ceiling. I can project it off the floor. I can project it on a 150 inch screen. And I can go outside and I can watch it. Consumers don't get upset over these demonstrations. The only people that get upset over these demonstrations are certified and individuals who do not make proper projection screen paint products correctly. They get upset. They get angry. Because if you're doing your screen correctly, if you're doing your test correctly, this doesn't even involve you. It wouldn't affect you at the end of the day. If somebody was up there talking about, hey, someone doesn't do proper testing and this and that and the other, and I do the testing, why would that bother me at the end of the day? I do testing, I'm good. But if I'm not doing proper testing at the end of the day and I'm cutting corners, that would bother me. Because that person's definitely, I feel that's personally hitting me because it's putting me on blast. Well, then you need to do a better job. If that hits you that way, where you feel that that's personally attacking you, then you need to upgrade your products. You need to work harder. It only affects people at the end of the day. Customers don't get upset over this. Customers are getting a better technology for an extremely affordable price. So it's a win-win for them all the way around. Instead of them going to these forum sites and thinking, gee whiz, that screen costs how much? I'm not buying that. I can't afford that. That's too much money. And then somebody can come along and say, hey, look, we can outperform that screen and it costs far less. Why would the customer be upset about that? There you go. The only people that get upset and bothered by that are either people that are not doing their tests correctly, and now they have to roll their sleeves and work a little harder, or certified companies that should be doing a lot more better. The screen should be much better than for what they're charging. I would say the fellow with the dragonfly, I feel we got denied. I feel we got denied. That's how I feel, because when I wanted to get it, they didn't have them, which was a different story the other way around. But as I said before, good call for you, because I'm telling you from my honest opinion and my expert opinion. If your product would have touched this screen, it would have ended up just like the rest of them. Your product is no different. I can see it already when I watch the demonstrations that they're really no difference. They would have reacted the same way. Let's go to AK desired nature. Now we're going to go into contrast, which the lighter screens, again, are going to have an issue with contrast. There's Jimmy the cricket. I'm not even going to kill him. I told you on camera some weird stuff always happens. We had a big cricket crawling across the floor. I mean, that thing's been driving me nuts for the last couple of days, but I got used to it now, so I'm going to live. Anyway, I call him Jimmy the cricket. I see him every once in a blue moon. Sometimes when I have these conversations, people literally think that I'm losing my mind over here. Like, no, I'm seeing these things. That is a cricket. How do you know? Because they hop. Which I should have Jimmy out of here, outside somewhere, because in here, well, we don't spray in here anyway, so for Jimmy to get into anyway. So I'll leave the door open anyway. He bounced back outside somewhere. All right, let's go grab some contrast levels. Now, when you do contrast levels, I cannot express this enough. For certified screens and for other screen paint mixes and products, again, you need to be in a fully lit environment when you do this demonstration. 78 in lux, 28 in lux, that's poor. That's extremely poor for us. For us, I would prefer a meter not reading in an environment. Upstairs, we hit somewhere like 1500, 1700, 1800. That's what we hit upstairs. The lowest I pick up upstairs when the sun's not hitting the side of my house and not filtrating my house with a lot of heat or a lot of light, we pick up somewhere between 298. That's minimum in the house, 298. Down here, meters don't register at all because we have that much light. When I see people showing their overhead lights, this is my overhead light. It's a high power fluorescent light used in storefronts, basically, in stores and stuff like that. That's why I love it down here. I wish I would have gotten 3 of these in the ceiling. That would have been real nice. But we got 1, but I'll take the 1. I forgot about that too. I need to get myself, once we get everything established, I need a test facility. I need something with more light. Actually, if it was up to me, I would actually test ambient light rejection screens in a greenhouse. Because there's nowhere for it's light constantly hitting the screen all the time. That's where I would do it. I think by the time we get to the 67s, I may have a test facility. By then, I probably could test a 67 in a greenhouse, which would be beautiful. All right, let's get our contrast levels after the commercial. Here we go. Now again, I see this too many times to count. Anytime we see somebody displaying contrast levels, they will do this in an ambient light controlled environment or in a dark environment. That's a fail. If you're advertising a screen to have ambient light rejection technology, guess where the customer's going to take it at? In a fully lit environment. What's going to happen? It's going to wash out on them. And then what's going to be explained after that? Well, you need this particular projector with this amount of lumens, and you have to calibrate your machine to get the colors right. Yeah, sure. So I just spent how much? And you want me to go in and adjust my environment so it looks like a cave at the end of the day. And then I got to turn around and got to calibrate a very expensive projector to get the colors right. Lights are on a sensor, so they go dark if you're not in that section. I'm very happy about the Black Series. As I said before, this is going to be our final product line, and we have to make sure if this is going to be the product line, it has to go through some extreme rigorous testing. The stuff you saw before of us showing up the screen, that's just for fun display. That's filling out the screen so we can get understanding. Anything that pops up with the word test next to it in all caps, that is the actual test. Now when we're outside, that's just having some fun, filling out the screen. We'll be outside today. We'll be dropping off with multiple projectors. Ultra short throw projectors. We'll be doing tests at 1,000 lumen pico projectors, and we'll be doing tests at the 5,000 lumen projector. Starfield screensaver. Now that technology we were developing, I think last year, the Sun Killer, we will be embedding that into the invisible technology because that technology can take a direct hit from the sun. Those of you who think that's not possible, put a link below so you can check it out. That'll be fantastic for storefront advertisement because that product right there, we can actually spray that onto glass, use that for advertising, and sunlight can penetrate right through the screen, and it won't even basically cause it to fade or wash out. It generates off light. So as you can see, we're pulling a Starfield demonstration. These screens are supposed to, well, I don't expect for the lighter screens to be able to produce the contrast levels. I don't expect for them. The gunmetals, I do expect. So gunmetal screens we have will be right there, 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 and there. These are all gunmetal screens. And that one on the far end, that's a darker gunmetal. Black background, goldfish. Now I like this particular demonstration because the background must remain black at all times, but the goldfish must be bright and vivid enough to push through. Now also today we're going to do two types of transition videos. First one, we're going to do it black against our screens. I love doing those. You can see a lot of demonstrations like that. Matter of fact, I got another demonstration setting up. I'm going to be painting one of the screens in the back. I'm going to draw into it with black paint. Oh yes, definitely. I love doing those. But anyway, so we're going to do a transition. So a transition means a screen should have the ability to go from white to black to black to white. It should be to change colors back and forth without being able to change. It stays in the same state. That means the screen doesn't have the ability to be able to switch back and forth. So we're going to do we have to do gray screen paint products. Unfortunately, we will be doing that. We'll be doing the slip silver. We have silver screen paint over there. We have two other forms of gray screen paints over there. We'll do that demonstration and comparison, the difference between our product and gray products. But we're going to do that transition. We transition to white, transition to gray, transition to black. Like I said, their test demonstrations are long. So in this one, the black screen, we're going to start off with the Starfield first, showing you the contrast levels, and then switch to a snow level. Now, the black screens or black materials should be able to transfer over to white without becoming up too dark. When it comes to the gray screens, we're going to be doing a transition from color. We're going to do a transition from white to black. They should be able to switch over from white to black. Well, actually, you're going to pick a white, but can they pick up color and can they pick up black next to the black technology? White screens, same thing. Transition, which you see from white, transition to black, transition to color. Now I know, that's a lot of tests. It's actually 3 different videos for that alone because they all have to be separate. And then we have to go outside and we have to do a swap out demonstration. They're even longer because we have to do 3 projector swap outs outside. We have to show an ultra, actually it's 4, I forgot. We got short throw, ultra short throw, low lumen projector, distance throw. Oh, there's a few of them, I forgot. There's a couple of them for outside. It's a lot. So that's why there's not enough room on the website. We designed a Facebook fan page under Black Series. All test demonstrations are being displayed there, along with pictures, stuff like that, explaining the technology, what's it all about, and all that other good stuff. And I'm also talking about picking up merch. Yes, merch. I'm not talking about flimsy t-shirts. I'm talking about high-grade material. I'm thinking about, because I have a few people that are tailors at the end of the day. They make clothes. So I like to do things differently. I might want something different. I might get customized t-shirts made. And this would be nice when we come offline, because we're going to be online. Keep in mind, we're not going to, we're going to be online. I need to do both. So when we have the storefronts, we'll have merch in the storefront, stuff like that. It's a nice way for me to advertise everything out in the open. All right, let's go over and let's grab the LG Jazz. I like doing this particular demonstration because if it's not coming up black, it's coming up tan. I'll tell you something. After watching the demonstration on certified screens, to the life of me, I don't even know how you were able to get certified. I don't know how you got certified. I don't know how you got reviews. I don't know how. I guess if that's considered to be the normal, that's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. I just sat there and thought about how in the world are they getting approved for this stuff? Where's the quality at? I'll tell you one thing, you better pray I don't go mainstream, because if I go mainstream with this technology compared to what I've seen in their tests, it's lights out for them. I would expect much better. If you're talking about ambient light rejection technology, I'm expecting to see a screen, especially for that kind of money, to be in a fully lit environment. I would expect nothing less. And if that's how they're doing it, are you kidding me? That's not good. The thing about two factors come in. Our company is extremely small. No one knows who we are. That's why the next stage is to advertise the technology on a different level. And the other thing is the fact that, well, I guess that would be it right there. That's the only thing. Once we get the storefronts open up, and once we have our technology on display, and we got people coming in that money to pay for radio time, money to pay for commercials, all that stuff, yeah, that definitely gets us on the next level. And I consider the fact that we could take out one of these screens easily with no problem. All I got to do is get a sponsorship to pop up on one of those shows, and that's it. Boom. And that's not going to be hard to do. As I said before, my sister has very heavy connections in all different forms of the entertainment field. And for the longest time, she'd been wanting me to come up there, meet with them and so forth, and then COVID hit and all that stuff came up, so it was like, nah, and phobias kicked in, and it was, and now it's like, when I really started thinking about it, I need to come out of this shell. This is becoming a shell for me, so I need to break out of this shell, get back into the mainstream where I used to be at, and start mingling. Be safe while I do it, but also, too, I need to get this technology to its next level. And by me being here, it's not going to help me at all. This screen my technology is being suffocated here. So don't get me wrong, I like the time I spent here developing and working on new things, but now it's time to leave and go to another level where we can get a lot of exposure for the technology and get it to the next level. A friend of mine, the one you see in the demonstrations, the one who has the screen build, and he's showing the pictures of his screen. He's doing some videos, by the way, so I can't wait for that. But anyway, his reaction is when he has that screen set up, is watching his family members come over and stare at a 150-inch black surface on the wall. And there's so many questions like, what is that? Is that a TV? It's the biggest TV I've ever seen in my entire life. Oh no, it's a projection screen. That can't be a projection screen. Projection screens are not black. There you go. That's what the selling point starts on that technology. then the curiosity kicks in. And I understand how that feels because I had the same reaction the first time I saw a black diamond screen. The first time I ever seen one displayed. I've never seen a screen. I thought it was black at the time. And I literally thought it was a black screen. I'm staring at it like, how is that possible? How is that seeing any light? How's that picking up? That doesn't make any sense. The mind just starts racing, trying to figure out how it all works. If it's possible, how can white light transfer to a black surface? And then when that image popped on and boom, after that, automatic sale right from the door. They sell themselves. So he saw the reaction. This is one of the fellows who wants to invest in the company because he saw the reaction when his family came over and how they were staring at the screen. And when that image popped on and they saw the snow levels and everything pushing through, they just couldn't take their eyes off the screen. And he realized the same thing I realized. You put that in a storefront where people can come and get that same reaction, you'll be a millionaire in no time at all. You'll have people beating down your door to get their hands on that technology to get it to the next level. The big companies like this don't really care about me at the end of the day, and I really don't expect them to. I'm not crying a river over it. It's because I don't have that status. But once I reach that status and I'm at eye level where I can stare at them back to back, now Mr. Bird becomes a threat because my technology, number one, is far more affordable, which means they can't break down their capital. If their capital is at $5,000 or $10,000 per screen, and my capital comes down to under $500, there is no way in the world you can drop your screen from $10,000 to $5,000 to $500 because there are going to be ripple effects, financial ripple effects triggering off all along the way. So they can't come down to the price of the screen, and the screen's more advanced. So what do? Pretty much ain't much you can do. And two options you have. They can probably try to take me to court, but then again, how are you going to take somebody to court for better technology? That's not going to work too well either. All you're going to do is just give me publicity, and you're going to come off looking like a bully. So that won't work. Buy me out? Well, I'm not a person that can be sold at the end of the day. I enjoy what I do, and I want to continue doing it. So there's no other option that they have. There you go. That's what you call, at the end of the day, even in, well, actually, not even, we're not even in the playing field. We pretty much kind of took that one over. Let me see. Let's go do lights out now. So let's do lights out. White screen.
Getting on from YouTube.
Go. What up there? Red screen.
Getting on from YouTube.
This I would never understand in a million years. I don't understand it. Maybe it's because of the ambient. What you expect the screen, even if the screen is ambient light rejection, when you're in the dark, the ambient light rejection really doesn't take too much of an effect. It works better when the lights are on. That's when it activates the best. So you would think with less light in the environment at 5,000 lumens that the certified screens would do a little better, but they don't, which is interesting. Blue screen.
Getting on from YouTube.
I'm going to sit down because this is the last end of this demonstration right here. Yeah, about right in time. We're not even close to being done, but right about in time. Green screen.
Getting on from YouTube.
Showing you the basic colors. Now, mind you, if he had done this demonstration next to his product in that dark environment, the outcome would have been extremely bad. And I mean extremely bad. It's different. Say you don't sell a screen paint product in the day. So you don't sell any projection screens. You have nothing to do with home theater, right? And this is just clearly you just researching screens. Well, this really wouldn't bother you at the end of the day because you don't have a product line that sells certified screens, or you don't make this gray screen printer or any kind of product at the end of the day. So if you do a test, and this fellow has a screen called a Dragonfly. So you do a test, and this screen comes on there and does this to the certified screen, and same thing to yours, you have literally dropped the value of your screen by a lot. Especially if the screen is far more expensive than the product that you're doing the demonstration on. You're going to be in a lot of trouble. It's like, again, the equivalence of matching house paint. If you're charging a certain price for a product and your product happens to match house paint, guess how far your product drops down? To the value of the house paint. That's where your product lands at. Where if you're able to do this, what we're doing right now with 9 certified screens, guess where the value of your product increases to. So right now, that technology we have laying there, that Black Series, or any other technology we do to have these tests, if they're able to pass 9 screens and lights out or lights on, especially in this kind of environment, the value of that screen goes right through the roof. That's why I told you that. Those screens right there are worth more than beyond $3,000 to $5,000. Slow color change out.
Getting on from YouTube.
Now, and people that I have that are interested in investing in the company can't figure out why I'm not charging $3,000 and $5,000. If I have technology that's better than their technology, why am I not charging these ridiculous prices? Because again, at the end of the day, it comes down to the consumer. The consumer should not have to do without due to the fact that his pockets, he or she, are not deep enough because they can't afford certain items that only other people can afford. This is what we call evening or tilting the playing field. So even though I know my technology is far more advanced than that, I know that bottom line that I can get a lot more money for it. I charge a certain price for it because I know at the end of the day that the everyday consumer would like to have a nice top-end screen. At the end of the day, I myself personally, without spending $3,000, $5,000 for a screen. That I have to have a special projector if I want to use an ultra short throw, that I can't even take outside if I want to, and I'm in an ambient controlled environment with ambient projection technology embedded into it. And this is what the naysayers miss right over the top of their head. This is why we do the testing. This is why we have batch numbers. This is why we do everything to guarantee the product, because we do things that everybody else is not doing. At the end of the day, we can back our products 100%. But not only that, can I back my product 100%? My products are worth more, a lot more money. But instead of me going out and saying, hey, look, I can easily deal with a clientele of customers who have the deep pockets that can pay for that technology for what I want for it, if I choose to charge that kind of money. I have investors that will go in and market it and get that product in that hands of the people who can afford it. Because right now you're looking at a technology that's wiping out 9 certified screens in the dark at 5,000 lumens, and that makes that technology worth a great deal of money. But I choose to charge the screen at a price where everybody can afford it. Because I don't think it's fair that you can go to a forum site and go, gee whiz, well, can't afford to get that projector. Good gracious, they want how much for it? Wow, that's crazy, man. Who is buying that? You really don't have to say that. You can walk into a forum site. Matter of fact, the fellow paid $169 for his Christie LW 400 projector with his 150-inch screen. When I told you his family members came over, they were shocked at looking at the screen. He can beat any certified screen he wants with that technology. He's got an absolute black sitting in his house, the same one we have upstairs, the same way outside, we use for basically dedicated setups. He can beat any one of these certified screens with no problem. He paid $341 for the screen from us, and he paid $169 for his projector. That's it. So literally, I can walk into a farmer site with one of my screens. Say I'm just an everyday customer. I'm not the guy who makes this stuff, because I usually never go in that way that makes it stuff. And I'm an everyday customer. I can basically show them off this projector right here, and I can level their screen with no problem, without spending all the money. But as I said before, the reason why they spend the money is because they don't know who we are at the end of the day. Now, once we get out there and we're well known, if that's the Lord's will, then guess where all that attention is going to be going to? Why is someone going to go out there and spend all that money for a projection screen and projector when they can do it for far less? You can take that extra money and do something else with it, like put a payment on your house or put some money on your car, maybe send some kids for college, who knows? But you can do something better with it. White screensavers. White snow screensavers. Oh, she bounces out. YouTube.
Here's YouTube.
Ready?
White snow screensavers.
Getting that from YouTube.
So there's a white level test. That's why when I hear that stuff, when people sit there and they explain you gotta be sitting this far back and you gotta be in the middle of this and you gotta have the angle this way to optimize the viewing pleasure, and then you have to have the lights calibrated a certain way, dimmed here and dimmed there for certain settings, and you gotta have so much light per square inch, and I'm just looking at them like, okay, we're done here. That, to me, that's mumbo jumbo. I'm sorry. That is just mumbo jumbo to me. That's making something sound more than what it should be. I like to watch people show you how to put together a frame, and they bring out a miter saw and all these tools, all this equipment, just to slap 4 pieces of wood together, staple them, and put a wrap to material around it. All that. Just 4 pieces of wood. That's all it is. And people put too much into it. Way too much into it. It's really not that hard. And then people that are learning for the first time see those complicated demonstrations and it becomes overwhelming. What do you think? It's really that hard, and it's not that hard. The reason why they make it sound so complicated, so it looks like there's more to it. Comes to a screen at $3,000, $5,000. I'm expecting to see better tests. Now, does any of the technology we have up here work? Yeah, it does. The certified screens work perfectly fine. They do what they're designed to do. They're designed to outperform a white screen. And the reason why they're designed to outperform the white screen, due to the fact that that's what they're going to be bumping into, if not all the time, they're going to be bumping into white screens. So they have to show an improvement over their technology versus a white surface. So they work perfectly fine. They do exactly what they're designed to do. Gunmetal screens are designed to produce better contrast levels, not 100% black, but better contrast levels and deeper colors, richer colors. They have that reflective surface to generate better light. But next to our technology, it's not the same. I would never go up there and slander and say the screens are garbage, because they're not garbage. It's actually extremely good technology. It just doesn't match our technology at the end of the day. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
As you can see, the black background, it's not picking up. Now, when we do our technology, we know that these screens are going to produce a slightly higher white level due to the fact that these screens are using a reflective coating. Some are actually silver screens, some are actually light gray screens, and others are gunmetal. But again, if those white levels pick up too high, the screen's going to suffer when it comes to color and contrast. Now, when we design our technology, we have to make sure that our technology maintains a certain level of white level. That's why we do the black on black demonstrations. See how they're not registering color? The white levels are way too high. They can pick up a white level, but, and again, at the end of the day, so can a white screen do the same thing too. Have to have a balance. Now the reason why we have to go through all the paperwork to lock this technology in, right now we don't even, the labels that you're seeing, they're not the final labels. These are all test runs to give us an idea of what we're going to be designing, what we're going to be making. I haven't even decided what the labels are going to look like yet. This is just all, everything is test when it comes to the labels. Usually we'll have the test labels up, and then later on the real labels will come out, and those are the ones that have copyrights and stuff attached to them. Now the reason why, usually the copyright area, we don't have to worry about that, because we're dealing with companies, that's something rarely they're going to mess around with. It's the patent pending that you need to have on your stuff to make sure that your stuff is protected. Because like I said, any one of those guys will walk right into that storefront and place an order, or go onto the website and place an order and get it down to a facility to try to break it down and reverse engineer it. So with that being protected, that's something they can't do. Because number one, no projection screen company wants to get exposed on basically trying to take the formula of a smaller company. On top of that, it shows at the end of the day that they're threatened by it, and they don't want that kind of publicity either at the end of the day. Now, to reverse engineer something is extremely, extremely expensive. I learned that when I was at when I was with a company over in Florida, and I said something like, well, how do I know you guys are going to try to reverse engineer it? And he says, you know how expensive it is to reverse engineer a product. So, say your product has 4 elements in it, right? And these 4 elements come from somebody else who went in and patented whatever their products, right? So they would have to go in and they would have to bring in a chemist. They would have to figure out first what it is that's in there. And then once they figure out what's in there, they're going to have to either get permission from the company that makes that particular item to remanufacture that product, which you're not going to get at the end of the day. Or they're going to have to come up with formulas that match that particular product. Not exactly, but match it so they can actually design something from the ground up. So they're literally going to have to reduplicate all the products that wanted to make that product from the ground up, which means you have to bring in a very serious chemist to do that, which means that's extremely expensive. And then after you put that in there, pray that whatever you put in there is going to react the same way as the original screen that's using the products that you can't use at the end of the day. Headache. So you're better off just signing the contract, working with the fellow, and making your money than going through all that. When he explained that, I was like, oh, I understand. It makes a lot of sense. All right, we did slow color change out. We did white levels. Let's throw some contrast levels in there. AK desired nature.
Getting that from YouTube.
Grab this one over here. Like this one has very heavy contrast levels.
I am Okay. Should we look my way?
It feels like a little, more like a Game of Thrones kind of boot. Now, when you saw the demonstration with the fellow with all the great certified screens lined up, you see the difference on how we do demonstrations and how they do demonstrations? You're not getting enough information by having a bunch of screens lined up and watching a car, and there's no contrast levels, there's no real colors, there's no real light levels, there's not enough light in the environment. It's just, no, you don't do it that way. Anybody who's doing test demonstrations like that, we don't want you touching our stuff. I don't want to be affiliated with that. Not to be rude, I just don't want to be, I don't want to be linked to that. We can't learn anything from you. That's the problem. There's no knowledge we can take back. You can take knowledge from us, but we can't take knowledge from you because, again, not doing the same demonstrations. Now, if I saw somebody out there in the middle of 12 o'clock in the afternoon and they had a screen that was producing an image, that's the person I need to talk to at the end of the day. That's somebody we can learn from. But if there's somebody sitting there in the dark doing these demonstrations, and that's the whole demonstration, that's the whole main demonstration, nothing was doing. Oh, no, we can't learn anything from you at all, period. Starfield screensaver. It's not to be disrespectful toward the fellow at all. I have no disrespect to him in any way whatsoever. It's just my personal feeling. That's how I feel that the tests were done poorly. I don't want to see a demonstration of a vehicle driving up and down the street. I want to see 100% real contrast levels. I want to see bright colors. I want to see white levels. I want to see an environment that's super, super bright. If I stick that screen in this environment, if I stick this screen in a storefront, if I stick this screen in a church or in a hospital, is that thing going to be able to maintain? I love hospital lighting. Oh my goodness. I swear. When I go for checkups and stuff like that, and just watching how bright that fluorescent light, I would love. I want a storefront to match hospital lighting. That's super bright in there. Oh, it's so bright in there. Man, it's bright in there. I'm almost even tempted, and it just popped in my head. Take a portable projector, and I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I still got to know. My curiosity kicks like that. I can take a portable projector with a couple of demonstrations on a flash drive, and I can literally walk in there for a checkout, pull out a nice little portable screen, and just do a little, not on camera, but out of curiosity to see exactly if it would actually pull, and that lighting in there is beautiful. Oh man, it's super bright in there. Black background, goldfish.
Getting that from YouTube.
And I remember, well, the conference room, I noticed that when I was walking around for the doctor, decided to go take a walk. So the examination room was super bright, hallways are super bright, but the conference room wasn't that bright. The conference room is kind of light in there, it's kind of dim. And I can see why, because they got like a 4K projector in there, a freaking like 7,000 lumens. It's really literally sitting right up on top of the screen because it's like a short throw projector they have in there. So not a lot of light in there. So when I was in there walking around, I saw the projector sitting up there in the conference room, and I was looking at the screen. Of course, it was bone white, of course. And I was, the woman was sitting there doing some work, and I was asking if she could turn the projector on because I was curious to see what it looks like. And then the first thing she did was she turned out the lights. 7,000 lumens short throw, 4K projector, and she had to turn the lights out. But that's the protocol. That's what people are used to. People are used to seeing the washed out screen. People think it's normal because if you pull up your screen and the colors are washed out, oh, this is normal. That's not normal, people. That's not normal at all. That's what you were told that was normal, but it's not. I've got some tests to do with that today. All right, well, as for its ability to be able to go side by side with certifies, this is automatically a pass. So we have, this test is completed. What do we got here for time? Yeah, as usual. So this is already finished. You can see the comparison of our technology versus 9 certified screens. We did lights on, we did lights off, we did color patterns, we did white levels, and we did contrast. And you can see basically where our technology was able to overpower these certified screens. Next, we'll be doing ultra short throws. So I'll be doing an ultra short throw down here for the next demonstration. We have 1 certified for that. I do plan to go back and do more demonstrations, even though the test will be passed, and we'll be doing more tests. There's several different ultra short throw screens we need to do, including VIII has one also too. So I guess I'll be putting an order in for the VIII tonight, or actually today right now, so we can have that here, because they do several ultra short throws. And we also need them because we are going to have a Black Series acoustic screen, so we need to start collecting acoustic screens. Elite has one, he has several of them. We know VIII has one, and I don't know any other company that has acoustic screens, but we need those tests for those too. All right, this video will be posted. I'll put a link below to where the new Black Series fan page, where we're going to be posting a lot of our pictures and demonstrations and stuff like that on the technology over there. And hopefully we'll have our storefront and all other cool stuff on it too also. All right, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. Next test demonstration, which I'll be setting up in a couple of minutes, will be ultra short throw demonstration and all this light. Because we did it upstairs, but this area is going to be a whole lot more brutal for an ultra short throw display. Let's see if it passes. Gotta go. Thank you all, and God bless.